Stevon and Mr. Universe have always been mind-boggling to me. How could they possibly exist? The common explanation is that Steven can fuse with humans because he's half human, but I've realised these are two separate statements, and the latter doesn't actually explain the former. What does Steven being half human have to do with him being able to fuse with humans? Humans shouldn't be able to fuse. They simply don't have the anatomy for it. Gems can fuse seamlessly because their physical bodies are light constructs projected from their gem cores. Light has the property of superimposing over itself. Gems are an alien species, and fusion is one of their many characteristics, like how they don't need to eat or sleep, or how they retreat into their gems when critically injured. Steven's ability to fuse has nothing to do with his human half, and everything to do with his gem half. We see the raw physical projection of his gem when White Diamond yanks it straight from his stomach in Change Your Mind. Pink Steven is made purely of light. This component enables fusion. We've seen Steven partially react to gem technology because his human half siphons the effect. When Spinel uses the Rejuvenator on him, it affects his gem powers, while his human half remains unscathed. When trapped on Jasper's ship, he easily escapes the gem prison. Humans are anatomically different from gems, so Greg and Connie being able to fuse with Steven when they aren't made of light at all seems impossible. Here's my theory. Their DNA changed in a way that enabled fusion to occur. Rose Quartz had the ability to alter DNA, the basic building block of life. Look at Lion. For starters, he's immortal, not to mention Pink. Lars as well. After he was brought back to life by Steven, I doubt we can still call him human. He gained superhuman abilities. He no longer gets hungry. He phenotypically changed, so we can say he was altered at a genetic level. This extends beyond mammals. The plants Rose's tears contacted became sentient. She essentially altered their natural state. Steven created an entire army of watermelon Stevens. He did the same with cacti in Steven Universe Future. This brings us to Connie and Greg. In An Indirect Kiss, Steven narrates how Amethyst cracked her gem and the pressure was on for him to heal her because the gems believed he inherited his mother's healing tears. He was unable to heal her, but they found a way round it by bringing Rose's fountain of tears back to life. Unbeknownst to them, he was able to heal, but instead of his tears, he used his saliva. However, when Lars died, he was able to use his tears to resurrect him. Back to Connie. She sips from the same juice box Steven drinks from, making direct contact with his spit, which totally heals her eyes. What if this phenomenon changed Connie beyond the physical? What if it went beyond healing her eyes and changed her on a foundational level, making her something slightly more than human? Remember what happens when Rose and Steven's tears or spit contact living matter? This change Connie underwent might be what made fusion with Steven possible, because on some level, she became closer to the gem race. And yes, the events of An Indirect Kiss take place before Alone Together. In House Guest, we follow the aftermath of the Lapis incident. Greg broke his leg in the chaos. Steven heals Greg completely, mending his fractured leg. There's the whole plot about Greg pretending Steven's healing didn't work so he could spend more time with him. But I want to focus on what that healing might have done. Similar to Connie, Steven healing Greg's leg may have caused that same genetic alteration. Minuscule, but perhaps enough to make him fusion compatible with a half-human hybrid. This makes me think Steven and Lars might be the next meta-human fusion we see in the show. Perfectly timed for Lars of the Stars. Okay, so this totally crazy theory aside, if we are to agree that it's indeed because he's half human, he's able to fuse with them, what's the mechanism? Perhaps Steven's gem, embedded in him, has recognized his human DNA and somehow recognizes fellow human DNA, enabling fusion to occur. What do you think? Does this theory hold water, or am I reading too much into Steven's healing abilities? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single video. As usual, see you in the next one.